Slick, suave, subtle, savage. These four words perfectly define Subramaniam Jaishankar, the man who has strengthened India's position on the global stage as the External Affairs Minister of India. From Pakistan to the West, and even responding to Rahul Gandhi, his witty replies often set social media on fire. Let's take a look at 6 hard-hitting replies of Jaishankar. Roasts West on passing comments on others.
The West has a bad habit for a long time of commenting on other people. Okay, they somehow think it's some kind of God-given right, huh? and I think they will have to learn only by experience that if you keep doing this, other people will also start commenting, and they will not like it when that happens. But I can see it happen.
Response to Western pressure on India.
Diplomacy, international relations, good ties, friendship are not about giving other people a say in your choice. Our choice must be our choice, however difficult it is. I'm not a rash person. I would say we need to calculate, we need to strategize, sometimes we need to soften at times. That is something which my business also does. But at the end of the day, there will be moments, and you all know we've had one or two of these recently, that when it came to our energy purchases, our national choices and national interest were supposed to be subservient to the political correctness of other countries who, by the way, had made their own arrangements to soften the blow for themselves.
Shuts up a foreign journalist.
India Today event a while ago, you were asked about India's downgrading in Freedom House and VDEM and other democracy scores.
It answers the question if you would be objective enough to understand it. I think it says very clearly that the people who are writing these reports have a strong bias. Often they distort facts. There are, many of these reports are actually riddled with inaccuracies. So I put it to you, there's an ideological agenda out there. I don't know why that's hard to understand.
On Russia.
Are you reluctant toward Moscow as well, because Russia is India's most important supplier of weapons and military equipment?
And therefore?
Are you reluctant to criticize Moscow?
No, I think, look, we have a relationship with Moscow. We've had a long-term relationship with Moscow. I think it's important to look at that history of the relationship. It was a relationship built in a period when Western democracies used to arm a military dictatorship called Pakistan and deny India defensive weapons. So if we are talking about principles, let's talk a little bit of history out here. So how did the Indian exposure to Russia and previously to Soviet Union get built up? Because the Western democracies, for whatever reason, decided that their natural partner in our part of the world was a military dictator.
Gives a reality check to Pakistani reporter who was trying to blame India for terrorism.
How long South Asia is going to see this terrorism and disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war, number one? And then secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolution for Kashmir?
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism.
Taking a dig at an American newspaper.
There are some newspapers, you know exactly what they're going to write. So, including one in this town, India goes its way. And the people who believed that they were the custodians and the shapers of India lose ground in India, the more actually some of this debate is going to come outside. Because they are not winning in India. So they will try and win outside India, or try and shape India from outside.
Taking swipe at Rahul Gandhi.
How do you react to what some people who go to the US say on some things? I say that I can only talk for myself. I try when I go abroad not to do politics abroad. For this reason, I'm perfectly prepared to argue and argue very vigorously at home. even a democratic culture has a certain collective responsibility. There is a national interest, there is a collective image. There are sometimes things bigger than politics. And when you step outside the country, I think that's important to remember. So I may differ strongly with someone. I could say to you I differ with them, but how I counter it, I would like to go back at home and do it, and watch me when I get back.
Be it agenda-driven journalist or ignorant opposition, Jaishankar is a man who gives it back as good as he gets, in style, while staunchly defending India's interests.